Hi, welcome to Katie Stories. It's Katie Sirianni Bowl, and I'm back as I promised with 4.5 because 4 was just too short. We were taking our girl to university in Alberta, and they kind of wanted to get going, and we're on holiday, so it's all good, right? And I'm late today. I was supposed to have this ready this morning, and it's Labor Day, and you gotta abide by the laws. You can't really do much labor. I just tried to take it easy all day so I could look rested and get on camera. So anyways, I'm gonna cut right to it. I'm gonna read you my story, part of it. This compilation, I'm right here. I'm one of these 30 beautiful women telling their story of overcoming the odds and triumphing, getting happy. So a little about my background, if you're just tuning in now, is that the best way to say it is when Crystal put my story in the middle of the book, she said, along comes out of the dark a little lightness. Katie Sirianni Bowl manages to tell us her story of growing up with addiction, mental illness, and family violence, and somehow make it funny. And I do, because you know what? I tell my story with love and humor. There was just no handbook for the times, and I love where I came from. I love my family. It was just a little unorthodox, but it was just, another 70s show, shameless. And I wouldn't be who I am today if I hadn't grown up with a lot of the people and family members that influenced my life. So here we go, okay? You ready? Okay, I'm gonna start. I'm the baby of 5. I gave Dad his first heart attack, they told me, when I was 7 months old. I was colicky and screamed long into the night. Dad would leave at 4 a.m., having hardly any sleep, and stagger down the road to his job at the mill. My eldest siblings were 16, 15, and 11. They went to school exhausted every day. My brother Fred was 3 and none too happy that I took his place as the baby. It was 1969 when Fred turned 6 and started grade 1. I was 3 and had Mum all to myself. Mum and I would walk downtown hand in hand and sit in the Woolworths counter on Commercial Street in Nanaimo, BC, and eat a burger and fries. We'd walk to the Catholic church, or we would visit her friends or relatives. I loved sitting at the dining room table with Mum, trying to spell or sew clothes for my Barbie. I think I just had one Barbie. That was enough. Soon after I started kindergarten, Mum left the Catholic Church and deteriorated quickly into her mental illness, believing God was punishing her, and she alienated herself from her Irish sisters and friends. She would sit still in her chair for several hours, and we were not to bother her. She told us if she sat still without moving, a phone call would come and free her. I walked into the house one day after kindergarten, just in time to see my dad, cousin, and doctors struggling to put her in a straitjacket. She was screaming, and her eyes were wild. Someone clapped their hands over my eyes and carried me away down the hall. They took Mom away for a short time, but I don't know that she was ever diagnosed. My father and oldest sister told me early on this was not God punishing her, and my already developing sense of innate self trusted them on this. At age 5, as well as being a funny, bright child, I was incessantly chatty, feisty, and bold. Whatever. Can you tell? Did I give you that impression? I'd strut my chubby little body up and down our street, busting boundaries with friends and frenemies. I'd argue and say awful things, jutting my chin out defiantly, hands on my hips. I remember wearing my bathing suit, my towel slung casually over my shoulder, and peering over my neighbor's fence, watching them in their pool. I shouted, "Hey Cal, you going swimming today?" A neighborhood man handed out ice cream bars to everyone but me, saying I was a bad little girl and didn't deserve one. Years later in therapy, we traced this to the origin of my no good button. By age 8, I was smoking cigarettes, cursing, and I'd had my first fight. Isn't that sweet? And you know what? I'm going to stop right now there. Today, an old friend of mine reached out to me, and she wanted to buy a copy of the book. I didn't even want to charge her, because I was encouraging people to follow my YouTube, to subscribe and watch my YouTube, these Katie stories, and like them. And I said, hey, the first 5 people to do that, I'm going to give you a free book. But no way, she's from out of town, she wants to pay for it, wants to pay for shipping. And ironically, she is the girl that gave me my first cigarette. So I thought that was cool. Yeah, well, it's not cool that I smoked in grade 3, but that's how it was. It was 1974, and she comes up to me with this green packet Export A cigarettes, and she says, "Hey, Katie, do you want to smoke?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, yeah." And so, yeah, we smoked like whatever was left in the pack. She'd stolen it from her mom. And then we walked up and down Pine Street asking people for their bottles and cans and said that we were with Brownies. And then we would go buy we bought a pack of Colt 45 cigarettes with the wine tips and we smoked them. I loved it. I did. I smoked off and on, grade 5, grade 7, and finally until I was 32 years old, and I quit cold turkey, and I'm glad. It's good. Don't smoke. Don't smoke, kiddies. If you're listening to this, do as I say, not as I did. So anyway, that's today's edition of Katie Stories. And I'll talk to you next Monday. So thank you so much for listening. And it would help me a lot if you subscribed and liked my video. Watch it through its entirety so you can, don't miss anything funny, right? It'll keep getting better. I gotta just keep practicing and doing my personal best. So have a good night. Happy Labor Day. I hope everybody had a really great Labor Day and relaxed because, yeah, I work for the school district. Tomorrow it's time to go back to work. And, yeah, but the routine should be nice. Yeah, I'm full of it. I just want to lay in the sun and do nothing. But it's okay. I got to go back to work, right? Okay, see you later. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.